That was a great result, performance against a really, really good team, wasn't it?
Yeah, really positive performance. I thought the girls showed real character right from the first minute to that final 90, and it took everybody. But yeah, to go goal up with Lois, she's full of confidence after the, great strike last week against Bristol City. But yeah, credit to the full team. I thought our out of possession shape was brilliant today. It was really disciplined, really structured. We pressed aggressively in the right moments and turned over the ball in really good areas. So we've gone toe to toe with one of the best teams in England, and I'm so proud of the players and the way they impacted the game off the bench, the way they started the game. Just everyone's influence was brilliant today.
That could be a real sort of foundation or springboard. You've got some great evidence to show to your players.
Yeah.
This is what we can do. These are the standards you've set, and we've got to do that every week.
Yeah, I think that game will give us loads of confidence. We've got that break now at the international break to reassess and think about how we implement some of the glimpses we saw in today's performance into the league come next week against Ipswich. So just as I say, just really proud of the girls' performance. I thought it felt more like a Newcastle performance. It was tough without the ball. We had to be patient. We had to be bold in moments when we regained it and got into the final third, and I actually thought we had the better chances across the game. So yeah, credit to the players, and I'm just disappointed we couldn't win it on the penalties, especially for Demi, with obviously playing over 200 games for City. That would have been the icing on the cake, I think. But I think overall we come away probably the happier of the two teams.
What does the international break look like for you, and what do you want to get out of it?
I think we've got 12 players going away on that international break, so they will go, the international games, so they'll go away with their respective teams, and they'll be playing fixtures, and we'll be working at the training base with the players who are not on international duty, and we'll be reflecting on kind of the season so far, kind of what's went well, what needs to improve, what we need to work on when the team comes back, and really in prep for that Ipswich game we need to be really focused on the task ahead, because we know it's a must-win game. But yeah, I think in terms of just going, right, what is the best shape for us? Who is the players that are playing really well and who can come off the bench and impact? But it has to be everybody together in the same direction, pushing for the same goals. But I think you can probably see off the last 3 games that the girls are working for one another, working for me, and I'm just delighted.
Becky, what's the message with Lois Joel? This is just shoot every time she gets a ball, because she's scoring some worldies at the moment, but is she also causing you a good problem, a good headache?
Yeah, I think, like I said last week, I think she offers good balance to the midfield. I think she understands her role tactically really well. I think that's one of her real strengths. She's someone that really understands the game, and she's got good experiences from Wales, good experience from her playing career so far, and she's built some momentum now with Newcastle, which is a real positive. But again, I thought her overall performance, regardless of the goals she scored, which were, as you say, screamers, which is great, but just her tactical brain to be able to win the ball, turn it over for us, be an option in the 6 to switch play, I think she's been brilliant. So yeah, credit to Lois and all the hard work.
I want to take you back like 4 or 5 years ago, playing in front of like 100 people and so on. And now fast forward, you're playing in front of 3,000 people. You've held one of the best teams in the country. Where does this rank for you in terms of your tenure across Newcastle?
Yeah, I think it's just every time we get into these positions, I have to really pinch myself and think of the journey that we've been on, and it makes me emotional thinking of the journey we have been on as a club, and everyone knows how much I love this football club. I feel like I've been taken in as one of their own, and my work ethic across the last 6 years has been, as much as I can possibly give to help us get to where we are now, and that has not changed this season. So it's been so hard to take the results in terms of what I feel like we deserve from the efforts off pitch. But yeah, it's definitely ranked up there in probably my top 5 moments for sure. But I remember the excitement of when we played Man United, and when you don't pick up results, you think, we're playing a top team, and you want to go after it, you want to win the game, of course. And I said that to the players in terms of let's go for it. But at the same time, you think, is it going to be something else that kills our momentum? And it's easy to drift into negativity with it. But I just approached it today like, look, I'm a 30-year-old manager. probably the youngest manager in our top 2 divisions, probably even in both men's and women's football. I'm playing Manchester City. I love it. We're welcoming in some fantastic players to Gateshead today, and I started when players were paying to play. So yeah, it's been such a journey. I love the fans. I want to represent them in the best possible way and represent this club and city the best I can. And yeah, I'm just delighted we were able to give that performance today, because it shows that everyone's still pulling in the same direction.
Thank you. I'm going to ask you a fun question now. Mercury Awards were earlier this week. We've seen Gemma and Emma all prettied up and went to the awards. So I want to ask you, what music are you listening to, or what can you recommend to everyone else?
I'm probably like them. Everyone's a bit of a Sam Fender fan, aren't they? I think it's that Geordie feel to it. So I'm probably similar to them in terms of that. But I think just in terms of music, it's going back to those songs that remind you of the moments. And I always laugh when certain songs come on when I think about, the St James's Park moments we've had in that changing room afterwards. So I can't say which songs because they're probably a bit off record. But when you listen to them in the radio, when you're driving in, I think that's the bit for me. When I'm driving into work on a match day and I've got that buzz, it's no feeling like it. So yeah, I just love the project we're doing, and we just need to keep going.
That's it for me.
Adam? Becky, congratulations on the result. We've had a tough run of games in the league coming into this one. Has this been quite a welcome distraction?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be a moment that really shifts the momentum positively for us, and we go into this next block of games with Ipswich away, and then Durham, and I think it's Southampton after that. So in terms of, we've got a real appetite to do well in those games, and it's refocusing. It's building on the positives we've done so far, and it's a tough league. Everybody's strengthened. We've had a lot of adjustments, adjusting to our new home at Gateshead, our new home at Cochrane Park, and there's so much that we've had to navigate. But at the same time, we're so lucky to be in the position we are now compared to previous years, as Lee mentioned. I remember the times at Druid Park on the Astro with, as Lee's saying, 100 fans there. Whereas now I'm like, wow, people would text me saying, I can't get a ticket for today's game. Can you sort me a ticket? And it's like, wow, we've pretty much sold out that stand. Well, we did sell out that stand that you guys were all in, and, those fans behind us. There was a good Man City following as well. So it's just brilliant for the women's game.
Yeah, fantastic first half performance. And then obviously they get the goal just on the stroke of half time, and then early in the second. So that was good character once again, though, wasn't it? To fight on late on. And I mean, 2 goals down against a top tier side. Not many teams from tier 2 would have that character to come back. Yeah,
I mean, the rotations in their midfield, you'll have seen it. They're so smart to find the pocket, and they rotate so quickly. So your defensive shape has to be so resolute and so disciplined in terms of knowing what your role and responsibility is. And we've obviously done so much analysis across the week to make sure that we were understanding what was required. And they have special moments because they've got some brilliant players. We're playing against Shaw, Miedemar came on. I think that was the moment, wasn't it, when we were, I think it was we were 3-1 down, and Miedemar and Alex Greenwood and others came onto the pitch. You're like, wow, the depth they've got. But again, the girls did well, and the players, Beth Lumsden, Dee, came off the bench and brought a good energy. But yeah, I think from Claudia right through to the front line, I thought the girls were excellent.
I know you touched on it before with the international break. Does that come at a good time for you?
Yeah, we definitely are looking forward to the break. We had a long pre-season and with lots of away trips, and we've probably accumulated quite a bit of fatigue as we progress into this international break. So we're looking forward to a couple of days off. But at the same time, I think it's a pause point for us to really reflect and go, right, what would it look like for us to actually win these 5 games after the break, and actually what position would that put us in, going into Christmas? And I think it's still a really favourable one. We get into that Christmas break, we will push as a club obviously to do really well going into next year. So I'm really ambitious still. Nothing's changed with regards to that. Yes, we've had a few bruises along the way at the start of the season, but so will other teams, and other teams have dropped points, and we're really looking forward to the local derbies. That goes without saying. So we just got to keep working hard, and it's tough in moments, it really is, but the support around the players and myself and the staff have been brilliant.
And just finally for me, you come off that international break, Ipswich away. What can you take into that game from say this weekend?
Yeah, I think lots of confidence from this weekend against City. We played Ipswich in pre-season, so we know what they're about. We know what their manager's kind of style is and stuff. So we go into that week with a lot of confidence. But at the same time, we've got to be ready. They're a good side. They're a team that's come up into Tier 2 and they're hungry to do well, and they've taken points off teams already. So we've got to be at the races and showing no complacency in terms of our performance. So yeah, looking forward to going into that, and obviously it's a special one for the club with Bobby Robson being the heart of Ipswich and Newcastle. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Sorry, it just kind of struck me really. It's a general question.
Yeah.
There's been a kind of incredible feel-good factor around the club post takeover and around the women's team, and it's I know you put kind of phenomenal pressure on yourself and always have done.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a difference in atmosphere around your team this season, in the sense like it was asking a huge amount last season to go straight back up? I know you wanted to go up again.
Yeah.
I know you set that as your target, but there is almost that feeling this season that it sort of should happen.
Yeah.
Do you notice that? Do you agree with that? I mean, do you recognise that? Do you accept that? Do you feel that?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one to navigate, because we've always had that, like I say, that appetite to push, and my aims were that last season, and I know we finished 5th, so it feels like maybe it was just a season to find our feet. I was still, really ambitious to push and be the first team ever to go back to back to back. This season, I think naturally there's that pressure. I think there's more people externally with noise, expecting that to happen, and we desperately want that to happen. That goes without saying, but it's that bit of you've got to take it one game at a time. And I was reflecting on the last 2 games in terms of context. If we had taken the 3 points against Sheffield, and the best performance of the season was Charlton, where we've actually dropped 3 points, and I think that game in particular showed what our quality is, and that's the team that's top. We know we can keep pushing. So yeah, there's more pressure without a doubt, but at the same time, I think it's the noise we're letting in. It's the club is still in the same position as it was, very supportive, very driven, wants the girls to do well, and will provide as much wraparound support as possible. I think it's us not losing focus, not listening to the externals in terms of people from other clubs, fans who are disappointed in results, and people kind of turning on the team. I think just focusing on what we've done well. And I had a chat with Steve Harper the other day actually, and he said to me about don't let the noise come in. The last 2 performances are undefeated, and there were 2 really good performances, so actually build that into Man City. So if we're going 3 performances now, undefeated in those 3, and we look to kick on now. Cheers.
For me, the player of the match was Greg, who absolutely was phenomenal at the back. What's good to see her getting minutes.
Yeah, I thought Gosha did really well today. I think it was a good challenge for her against some physical forwards, and I thought she dealt with it really well. She won her aerial battles, she won her duels, and it's taken her a little bit of time to settle in, but I think she's a player that can really grow into the team. We've seen that in the 2 League Cup games, and it's tough for her. There's some good competition in the back line with Demi, with Charlotte, with Aoife, with Diana. So yeah, it's been tough for her to break into that starting 11, but I think she didn't do herself anything other than favours. I thought she was really good. So really good performance from Gosha today.
It's good. It's good to see Alicia back in the start lineup as well. I thought she was really played brilliantly in the first half as well, getting them passes in.
Yeah, I thought Liz brought a really good energy. She's got a great engine in the middle of the pitch, and I thought she was calm in moments when we won it. She's a very competitive player. She wants to win, and she's got that, she's got a great relationship with myself, and we want to keep pushing together and grow the team, right from Tier 3. And she's had quite a few injuries across the last year and a half, and which has obviously stunted her progress in terms of being on pitch, but hopefully she can build a bit of rhythm now and really kick on with the team and help us, build some momentum in this league.
That's all.
Mark.
Yeah.
Obviously, a great result today against obviously one of the top sides in the country. Do you think that can give that little bit of hunger? When you went toe to toe and you've got like this is what you want to be facing every game.
Yeah, definitely. I think, it gives you that excitement to think that could be us really soon, playing in the WSL1 against your Man Cities, your Arsenals, your Chelseas in the future. So we're all really ambitious. We want to get there as quickly as possible. And we recognise the quality we're up against, though. The standard of the coaching team, the staffing team, their budget, their experience of players. We're talking about players that have won a Euros, players that have played Champions League football, players who are very experienced in terms of their professionalism and everything that comes with it. So, we are still a project. We are building and learning and having to learn really quickly, which has been, a real joy, to be honest, across the last 3 or 4 years. But yeah, it's the pace of which we're doing it. We are going to make mistakes, and, it's a young squad with some good experienced leaders in the group that help myself and the players every day. But at the same time, WSL2 is a very different league to WSL1. So there's been challenges for some of those players who've played at that higher level to come into WSL2 and realise that style, anyone can take points off anybody. It's a much more transitional game than being more in control of the ball in the WSL1. So it's been an adjustment for players, but I think they're adjusting well. And I think we've got quality in our team, and I know we can kick on.
And obviously, Ross Wilson he had to watch the game, a good first game from to attend, and that. Have you had a chance to speak to him that, or have you got like a positive forward looking?
No, I met Ross in person last week. He seemed really, confident and kind of positive towards everything at Newcastle United, which was a breath of fresh air, of course. So looking forward to having a proper conversation and sit down with Ross soon. Similar to David, I think their ambitions are to take this club to new levels, and they're really intelligent people with great experience. So looking forward to working with both of them.